when you're doing serious research. Good help is hard to find. But I need good help. You see, we've turned fragments of history from the aether into solid places. My crew calls them fractals.
Fractals look complicated. They're not. In the next 10 minutes, I'll explain what they are, how they work, and how to start without overwhelming you. Fractals are 5-player instance content, which are short dungeon-style encounters, and each of the fractals features its own story and environment. The mists refer to the setting of the fractals, which represents various realities and historical events that have happened throughout the years of the world. Now, with the fractals, they are scaled upon difficulty, and I'll explain that a little bit more later, and each are designed for repeatable endgame progression. So think mini dungeons that scale infinitely. The tier system. Now, this was the scale difficulty that I was talking about. There are 4 tiers of it. 1 to 25 is tier 1, 26 to 50 is tier 2, 51 to 75 is tier 3, and 76 to 100 is tier 4, and that is where most of the experienced players end up living. Now, whenever you hit level 20, that's whenever things get a little bit more complicated, and that will be Agony Resistance, which I will explain soon, but you are needing that in order to successfully not die as much, but you can still do it without having the Agony Resistance, at least in Tier 1. Keep in mind, you unlock higher tiers by completing higher levels, so as you go up the tiers and up in levels, your personal level will increase along with it. Now, when it comes to Agony Resistance, this is where people get scared. Agony is a special damage mechanic, and it is introduced starting at scale 20. It reduces the healing and deals a large percentage of your maximum health per second. The amount of damage inflicted is gradually increasing as the difficulty scales. So at level 20, it starts at 10%. Now, this only really matters in higher tiers, and you can counter the Agony Resistance by putting infusions onto your gear. You can also add the infusions onto your Ascended gear as well. Keep in mind, you do not need to worry about this in Tier 1, so you do not have to stress. Now, why should you care about doing fractals? Well, you can earn some pretty decent things. There are dailies to be completed in which you can get the rewards for. You can get progression towards your legendary weapons, as well as just regular gold, and you can also earn Ascended gear. Keep in mind, the higher difficulty you end up doing and overcoming, the higher chance at better rewards. Fractals are also a great way to practice for raids whenever you finally do get to them. Now, where can you find the Fractals of the Mist? If you go to Lion's Arch and you head down south to Fort Mariner, there is a portal in which you can find, which will lead you straight to the Fractals of the Mist. Now, there is a looking for group function, which you can see. There's a flag there that you can talk to, as well as it's on the top of the screen. Now, they have also implemented a quick play function just to kind of dip your toes into it. It's not going to count towards you leveling up in the fractals themselves, but it is a good way to kind of dip your toes in and understand how they work. It's going to be a whole lot easier than whenever you actually do a fractal. Now keep in mind, fractals are different than dungeons. There are no waypoints. If anyone dies, they must wait to be revived or until combat is over. Also, any characters under level 80 will be scaled up, allowing lower level characters to participate in fractals. Though your stats gained from your gear will be lower, you can still play with your friends. Keep in mind though, the mobs will generally target lower leveled players specifically, so joke intended, it might be a bit of an agony. I do want to say, do not be afraid. I just did a fractal today, and it was one that I've never done before, and it seems like a couple other people haven't before. So there's still a lot of new people still trying to experience who have never done fractals before, so there's no reason to be a little anxious about it. Me and the people ended up struggling with one of the boss fights. We ended up sitting down, we did a little research, and we figured out how to actually beat the boss. We ended up failing twice before on the third try we got it together and we successfully won. It was a great feeling between the entire party, so please don't be afraid to dip your toes into it if it looks like it's going to be a bit of a challenge, because that challenge that you might be having to wanting to step into the fractals, there's probably a couple other people who are feeling the same way. If you're in your first 50 hours, fractals are probably your first real endgame step, and now you know exactly how they work. So just dive in there, guys, and have fun.